Greetings, dear magnificent spirit soul that you are. Beautiful, beautiful moment because you're there. Breathe into your heart and get out of your mind. Get right here. My topic, relax. You're already there. What I'm addressing is this issue of hurry up. Better hurry up, better get there, better let's get going. You know, when my girls are little and we take a road trip, well, their dad, you know, they never want to stop because you got to make good time. So I remember one time when we didn't have him with us, boy, we took days to get somewhere because we stopped here and there because it was fun. And I know there's certain things you got to be in a hurry because you got to get there and do it, but it's also a racket in a sense. And it used to be that I would run for airplanes. This was before they had security and that sort of thing because they hadn't developed the program enough to terrify people enough. So you got to do all this other stuff. Anyway, I had to hurry up and get there. And I'd be late for appointments a lot because I didn't actually recognize how long it would take to do something or to get there. And then it also made a sense of I'm important because I got to run, I got to hurry, I got to get there, I'm on a mission and all of that. Well, you have to look at where are you trying to get, you know, where are you trying to reach? Well, I'm trying to get there. Well, yesterday you tried to get there and now you're trying to get here and there and then it's the next day and all of a sudden it's getting over. I know this might be a little touchy subject, but hemorrhoids, I know. Pushing, shoving, trying to hurry up and go to the bathroom. Hurry, and I remember I did that to my children a lot and that was done to me. Hurry up, you know how much this is costing. Hurry up and eat so we can get out of here. And it's like, hurry up, we got to get the next thing and just get going. And it was always, okay, let's get going, get dressed for school. Let's go. And it's still there. And it's this driving force inside where you can't just relax and do what you need to be doing. It's always a sense of crisis, a sense of hurry, because if you don't get it, you're not going to make it, you're going to be late. And then if you're late, then you're going to get all this. Oh, who's driving you? Who is it? Relax. You're already there. I remember this person that I worked with years ago, tried to get him over this, but really difficult because he couldn't get this principle that to detach didn't mean you get rid of something. No, you just detach your emotion from it, that object or that person is the cause of your happiness or your pain and your misery. And this is what we're taught to do. And the most frustrated people, the most unhappy people, and confused people who are looking to get their answers from someone or something outside, and just look at how popular these search engines are. And there's people that carry their little phones with them every moment. They have no idea what's happening to them. So that every little word they can look up, every Google they can do, and they're just constantly on there. And you see that this is an addictive thing, because our tendency then with the mind is that the mind becomes a toy. It's basically a toy. So this whole thing about hurry and get somewhere is you're already there. And this man that I was working with, it was always the next deal. Get rid of that person, and then the next person, and then the next job, and the next money that came in. It was always this next thing. But it never changed. The next thing never mattered, because when it did happen, he still had the same pattern and the same behavior. And it's not that things don't need to happen quickly, but they only happen in the now. All manifestation happens now. Everything only happens now. A person may not be there because they're in the mind remembering the past and all the old dialogue, or they're projecting in the future what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. Don't imagine when the horrible thing happens to you. People, they're all planning for when they're going to leave and how it's going to be. I had this one student, she was wonderful. She was just fabulous, and but she's so interested in that funeral, man, and she had it all scripted out. She had the black hearse. See, that's also in presidential things. You have to be very special to get the black hearse and the black horses. Okay? And some don't get those, you pay attention. Obviously, observe, okay? You want to be a spiritual sleuth. You want to learn how to really look for clues and notice how things are. It's fun. And it's very, very revealing, very, very, especially if you watch and observe your own thoughts and what the mind is doing. And if you followed those thoughts, the trouble you'd be in, what you'd be bringing back and making you feel bad even when you're feeling good, and then you feel guilty for feeling good because other people are feeling bad. It's just jerking everybody around all the time. Okay, relax, you're already there. And what that means is, you don't have to become something more than who you are. You don't have to achieve something to become okay. You already are. You don't have to get rid of somebody or something for you to be just fine. It's not true. And we can see that with all of these concepts that we have, we learn from others. And if we were around someone who was what would you call it? A fanatic of some kind, then usually we take the other side and become a fanatic on the other side. So people are always, they're changing themselves, they're developing themselves to be also, to fit in, to be a product, to make sure they make them enough money that they, do all and hurry. And you look at some of these places where people are working, they have to, can't even go to the bathroom. I mean, you have to raise your hand. I guess you're taught that in school. All of these kind of things that you're taught to line up, to queue up, and to hurry, because you only have 50 minutes for a class. How can anybody do a project in 50 minutes? That's why, like at my house, I like to leave all my projects out. I would clean them up differently, but you put stuff away, you forget about it, and you want it out there to remind you, because you want to be working on that and playing with it. But when you get that you're already there, you're already whole, complete, and perfect. Not what you think, not what you made up in your mind, not all those concepts and beliefs, not the false. See, if there's a false, I dropped my notes, but I didn't even. The false, there has to be a real. Okay? Something can't be false if there is not a real, but the false is a copy, or it's a perverted shadow reflection. Just like you look in the mirror, there's the real and there's the false. But what is that? It's not false as it is. It's a real reflection in a mirror. That's what it is. And it's not you. And even this body is not me, but who I am and you are, beyond definition, beyond meaning. People say, I want to find myself. Well, it's your being. You can't define yourself. You can't find yourself. What it is you start taking away all the false, and the key is your time's running out. Oh, sorry about that. Your time's running out. Your time runs out. You don't play it. You're not in the time game. I've noticed that you better hurry it up, because your time's running out and you'll be dead, and your time's running out and you won't be able to do it. And your time's, see, they got the time for the car, you got the time for everything's got a time. Where is time? Here's a branch, but where's time? And it isn't even happening. Now, see, now, that's all there is. And so slow down. That means give yourself that chance to go out there and sit in nature. Notice the mind's going to agitate you. It's going to want to get you to go. It's want to get you to bring up the past. Want you to sorrow about that. And the story. What are you doing? What are you getting out of this for? You have power. You have divine energy, life force. All things are possible to you. And this programming that we've all received as to what that means to have made it, to have arrived, to finally get there, to finally be someone and somebody. I made it. And then you do the big deal. You always thought if you did that, everybody beat a path to your door. You do it, nobody cares. Where'd they go? Nobody really go. Well, I didn't get the appreciation I thought I would. You know, it wasn't done on time. And you know, when you're working with the divine, it's not about time when you're working with the divine. Because then it works out in the way it needs to, because you're not in time, because you're not in the mind, you're being fully now. Then you can enjoy the ride. And you can stop and get off by the side of the road and sit here by the river, feel it, watch the river flow. Well, you better hurry, you know, you got to make something out of yourself. You can't listen to the river flow. Oh, really? Have you ever noticed how it's just the simple that's the most fun? The sweetest? I could just watch my kitty cat sleep and her little bitty footsies. She got it. I know, serial killer. Birds, no, but we're pretty good there in that division. No birds. So anyway, but so sweet, and just the sweetness of even eating a piece of fruit. Just the sweetness of just being right there, right now. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to accomplish anything. No, you don't have to make something of yourself. You don't have to hurry and do this. And then people say, well, why don't I keep doing this? Well, maybe you really don't want to. You know, people say, oh, I want to do it, but I'm not doing it. I want to do it, I'm not doing it. Maybe you don't really want to do it. Have you ever noticed you do the stuff you want right away? So maybe that's a program. Maybe it's not there. And maybe it's all the stuff on time and accomplishment and become somebody and be good enough and finally show them what you want and finally be great and get appreciated and all of this. This is all the mind. This is all the mind wants. You don't need it because you're already there. Breathe into your heart. Be right where you are. Bliss. Get my bliss. Live my bliss. Get my book. Live your bliss. It's a wonderful book. Dare to be great. This is good too. Used to be every saint has a past, every sinner a future. But anyway, goodies are there. Get a nice book. Meditate. Sit by the river. I don't have a chance. I got to hurry. Well, then change that. You can have it be any way that works best for you to be fully who you are in every moment. Start right where you are. Breathe into your heart. Right there. We're all together and we're all different. Be you to the full.